Today on Great Georgia Jobs, climbing the ladder to success in the construction industry.
It was just an all-around good program. It was a life changer.
Plus, we'll show you how you can cash in on a career in financial technology. And the sky's the limit for Georgians interested in the aerospace industry. Plus, find out how to break into the film industry today on Great Georgia Jobs.
From Georgia's coastline to the Blue Ridge Mountains and many points in between, today, Georgia is the hottest job starter in the nation, creating high-paying jobs and in-demand careers. So, what are the keys to the future? Your future to learning frontline technology for a new career today? This is your roadmap to fast-track education, and this is your path to great Georgia jobs.
Welcome to Great Georgia Jobs. I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Great Georgia Jobs is your how-to guide for career success in Georgia. Georgia is proving to be one of the hottest job markets in the nation, especially when it comes to high-demand, high-paying jobs. From finance, film production, and tourism to aerospace and construction industries, today skilled workers are needed more than ever. WorkSource Georgia provides the resources that you will need to get on the right path to a successful career. That's why I'm here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Atlanta Falcons, and of course, our other football team, Atlanta United. This stadium has taken years of planning to complete, with thousands of Georgians building it from the ground up. But as impressive as it is on the outside, it's what's happening on the inside that's making an impact by creating great Georgia jobs. From downtown to down south, our state skyline is silhouetted with tower cranes, scaffolding, and of course, state-of-the-art sports stadiums.
The reality is there's so much work going on in our state that construction companies can't find enough skilled workers to do the work.
Scott Shelar is the president of CEFCA, the Construction Education Foundation of Georgia, an organization committed to strengthening the state's construction workforce through a program called Construction Ready.
Construction Ready is a boot camp style program. We bring people in, and within 4 weeks, they receive 8 different industry credentials, and toward the end of the program, they actually get introduced to over 10 different employers who are ready to hire them immediately.
One of those employers was building Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and one of those construction-ready graduates was Ian Miller.
I started off as a general laborer, just cleaning up, pushing trash, digging footings in the mud, just getting dirty, anything they asked me.
When Ian entered the Construction Ready program 3 years ago, he resided in a halfway house. Transitioning from prison, Construction Ready gave him a fresh start and the confidence to pursue a career in this high-demand industry.
At first I had my doubts about it. I got in there, and with the instructor was Mr. Hughes. He's a wonderful, wonderful teacher. It was just an all-around good program, and it was a life changer.
When metal slides around on plastic, it has...
Anyone can enter the program, and thanks to a partnership between CEFCA and WorkSource Georgia, for many students, the training and certification courses are free, and the experience is priceless.
Each student or participant that comes through the program, by gaining these certifications, they're getting a leg up, or they're getting a boost. They're actually becoming more valuable to the employer, because this, having these credentials coming in saves the employer money, because the employer does not have to go back and retrain at his expense.
Check where I'm at.
We're constantly searching for people who not only want to be on the job at that moment in time, but people that we can develop that will stay with the company and move on to other projects.
Corey Reese is the site superintendent for Holder Construction in Sandy Springs. He says programs like Construction Ready are a great resource to identify and hire talent like Ian.
He has excelled as a survey engineer out here on the project, and I see him doing nothing but moving forward in his career.
I feel like I have an advantage going through the Construction Ready program than versus a guy coming off the street with no experience. Absolutely, it changed my life, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
For Ian and the other 500-plus graduates of Construction Ready, this program is not only providing a path to a great Georgia job, but also lifelong steady careers.
It's one thing to see all these tower cranes and just see the excitement in our industry. It's another thing to know there are people on these projects who are really making better lives for themselves as a direct result of Construction Ready and the Georgia Department of Economic Development.
There are construction-ready programs in neighborhoods near you. Go to greatgeorgiajobs.com and find out how you can hammer down the skills and get on a job site in just 4 weeks. Coming up, Show Me the Money. The heart of finance technology is beating in Georgia. You'll see how one Georgian's turning a profit in this growing industry. And eat your heart out. We'll show you how this woman spiced up her career after facing a layoff. Plus, see how this Georgia school is training the next generation of aviation aces. And later on, lights, camera, action. Careers in the movie industry are here to stay. Don't go away. You don't want to miss these great Georgia jobs.
I've always seen myself behind the wheel of a big rig. And when I learned I qualified for free tuition, I enrolled at one of Georgia's technical colleges.
And after just 8 weeks, I was prepared for my license exam and the road. Georgia companies need qualified truck drivers, and I landed a great job quickly.
The Technical College System of Georgia, creating a better future for you and for Georgia.
It's no secret that Georgia is a growing state. And with the help of Georgia Power, that growth will continue. Because we're committed to improving our state by bringing in new businesses and more good jobs. Over 134,000 in the last 10 years alone. Giving our well-trained workforce more opportunity to build a better future. Because Georgia is our home too, and we want life here to thrive for all of us.
Welcome back to Great Georgia Jobs. Did you know one of the biggest challenges facing businesses today is having a consistent, trained, and reliable workforce? Hearing this, Georgia's governor created the High Demand Career Initiative, essentially launching a collaboration between employers and those responsible for training future workers. It's a genius strategy to solve some of the most pressing workforce challenges in the state. So how does this affect your career plans? Take a listen.
This initiative helps identify those careers so you know what is in demand, what training will lead me to a job, and then what is that training that I need to pursue. This initiative was created to make that process easier for you. And so this initiative takes out the guesswork. It helps you figure out where you should go and how you get there.
You can learn more about the High Demand Career Initiative and other state employment resources by visiting greatgeorgiajobs.com. We've all heard of Silicon Valley, but how about Transaction Alley? That's what finance industry insiders call Atlanta, because 70% of the nation's financial transactions pass through Georgia. And with more than 100 financial tech companies based here, there's a huge demand for talent to fill these profitable positions in the workforce. WorkSource Georgia correspondent Marnie Zambri is in Atlanta with that story.
Dale, have you ever wondered what happens when you swipe your card at your favorite local market? Well, actually, there's a science and an entire workforce behind these everyday transactions. Every time you insert your card, write a check, pay with cash.
Thank you.
Anywhere in the world, there's a good chance that transaction passes right through Georgia.
We're talking trillions and trillions of dollars.
Atlanta and the state of Georgia have very quietly become the fintech capital of the world, or certainly one of the major fintech capitals.
FinTech. That's short for financial technology. Imagine every computer program and other technological advancement that helps make sure money smoothly makes its way all over the world. That's FinTech.
FinTech has a lot of high-tech, high-wage jobs, which beget other jobs, which is great for the economy. And we're in a really unusual spot in the state of Georgia that we have more openings in our state for FinTech workers than we actually have workers here.
Victor Tapia is one of those young FinTech workers. He graduated from Emory and recognized his best career move was not to move at all.
Well, I just wanted to stay in Atlanta. It definitely was a city that I wanted to stay after graduation, and so I started looking for different companies.
After college, Victor landed an internship with First Data, one of the biggest FinTech companies in the world. Just a few months later, First Data hired him full-time as a business analyst to develop and design market databases to meet the needs of users.
I thought it was a fascinating industry, payment processing, technology, acquiring, issuing, that kind of thing. It really kept my attention.
The fintech industry in Georgia is growing, and so is the demand for highly skilled workers. So much so that a group of financial tech-only employers and other organizations teamed up to create FinTech Atlanta Initiative. It's a program dedicated to making Atlanta globally recognized as the financial technology capital of the world.
If we can have more graduates coming out of our high school, technical schools, and colleges, we'll be able to feed ourselves with available talent that is FinTech ready.
Barry McCarthy is not only a leading voice for FinTech Atlanta, he's also a top executive at First Data. First Data is a company that recognizes the value of recruiting talent from Georgia's very own universities and technical colleges, creating internships to provide students with exposure to the industry.
We're very interested in growing our own talent, right? And one of the best ways to do that is find high potential students that have an interest and aptitude in our type of business in the financial technology realm. Every year we bring on a number of student interns and we bring them on to really help us grow our business. And I think we made full-time job offers to all of the students that were about to graduate.
Business consultant and Georgia State professor Jim Sen says with so much money at stake, cybersecurity is an obvious opportunity in FinTech.
Cybersecurity is huge. There's no end in sight for the issues around securing personal data, private data, but there's also no end in sight for career opportunities.
And that's the goal for the FinTech industry. Get your attention with great Georgia jobs.
I like it because it's a very young atmosphere. The industry itself, we're everywhere, and we make people's lives easier.
The financial technical industry in Atlanta is growing, and so is its workforce, thanks to FinTech Atlanta and their partners. Dale?
If you want to cash in on the opportunities in the financial tech industry, go to greatgeorgiajobs.com for resources and advice on how you can get in the fast lane for a career in the state's transaction alley. Coming up, see how this woman turned her layoff notice into an opportunity to cook up a career in one of Georgia's fastest growing industries. But first, it's time for Great Georgia Jobs Workforce Trivia. Can you guess what the highest revenue producing export coming out of Georgia is today? Is it A, peanuts, B, aerospace products, C, cotton, or D, carpets? We'll let you know the answer after a quick break.
I was able to find class times for my welding and joining classes that worked for me, and my tuition was free. I get to train on state-of-the-art equipment, and my instructors are experts in their field. Getting started was easy, and by the time I graduate, I'll already be connecting with companies that need my skills.
The Technical College System of Georgia, creating a better future for you and for Georgia.
I've always wanted this. You have too. It's waiting to be unleashed.
It's in all of us. You just have to find it. Greatness. It's where your dreams and passions become a reality.
Greatness is where your hard work and dedication pay off.
Greatness. It's shaking hands with your future. Middle Georgia State University. Find your greatness.
Welcome back to Great Georgia Jobs. Did you come up with an answer to our trivia question? What is the highest revenue producing export coming out of Georgia? Is it A, peanuts, B, aerospace products, C, cotton, or D, carpets? According to the Georgia Department of Economic Development, the correct answer is B, aerospace products. With more than 500 aerospace companies in the state, exports topped more than $8 billion worldwide. As the home to aviation giants like Gulfstream, Delta Airlines, and Lockheed Martin, it's no surprise that some of the most in-demand jobs in the state align with the aerospace industry. Workforce correspondent Shamika Johnson is in Eastman with that story.
Middle Georgia State University is the only four-year college in the state that offers a comprehensive aviation and flight program. From pilots and air traffic controllers to aviation maintenance technicians, right here is where the next generation of aerospace careers are taking flight. At the heart
part of Georgia Airfield in Eastman, Brittany Adams is going through her pre-flight checklist.
And checking for any nicks or dents in the prop.
And now, with 3 years of flying under her belt, at 19, this young pilot in training is entering her final year at Middle Georgia State University's aviation school.
So in high school, I took college credit. So when I got here, I was able to just start right into my degree, which will let me graduate 2 years early.
Her timing couldn't be better, as employers have expressed the need for pilots and highly trained aviation technicians to meet the demands of this leading industry.
There's a lot of pilots and mechanics that are retiring, so they're leaving a void, plus with the expansion of aviation throughout the United States, it's an increasing market.
Aidan Clark is the Dean of the School of Aviation at Middle Georgia State University. He's also a member of a statewide aerospace task force designed to address workforce challenges faced by those looking to enter and hire within Georgia's aerospace industry.
We're producing those high-demand career fields in pilots and aircraft maintenance technicians, air traffic controllers. We're helping to develop the workforce for the state of Georgia. They're high wage earners that are coming out of Middle Georgia State University.
Along with modern aircraft and helicopters, the school is also equipped with high-tech simulators, an operating control tower, and an FAA-approved maintenance hangar to teach hands-on mechanical and structural aviation engineering.
The aviation maintenance technician field, it's very high-tech. You download systems from the engines that will tell you exactly what's going on with the engine, what it's doing.
Joseph Foster is on track to earn a degree in aviation maintenance technology.
I plan on completing my program here at Middle Georgia State University, then transferring to Georgia Tech to attain my bachelor's in aerospace engineering. My ultimate career goal is to become a flight test engineer for NASA.
WorkSource Georgia provides resources to cover tuition, stipends, and pay for test fees to help ensure that barriers to employment are removed, and committed students like Joseph have the access to training needed to enter this high-demand industry.
It just really allows me to focus on being the best that I can be in class, and I have to worry about how I'm going to pay for it in the long run.
WorkSource Georgia is also making it possible for Dimitri Carter to reach his career goals.
The career I'm studying is aviation maintenance technician. The goal is to work on planes. My dream job would be an AMT mechanic at Delta.
A position that offers an average annual salary of approximately $100,000. Seasoned pilots and air traffic controllers can earn 6 figures, making these accelerated, demand-driven careers and, in every sense, great Georgia jobs.
So which engine do I have?
And these careers offer so much more than attractive salaries. They provide job security and a skill that makes graduates of the program very competitive in today's workforce.
Knowing that there is going to be a place for me in the industry is really motivating for me to kind of get it done and get through it. It's a good flight.
Yeah. Now, it is forecasted that more than 100,000 pilots and more than 120,000 aircraft technicians are needed nationally in the next 20 years. This is WorkSource Georgia at its finest, connecting talent with opportunity. Dale?
Thanks, Shamika. If you are interested in an aerospace career, go to greatgeorgiajobs.com. There, you'll find the tools and information you need to get your aviation career off the ground. Another big business here in Georgia is tourism. More than 100 million tourists visit Georgia each year to experience the unique culture of our historic state. As a choice vacation destination, Georgia's tourism industry is creating career opportunities for locals willing to turn on the famed Southern hospitality. And for one displaced worker turned entrepreneur, her foray into culinary tourism is paying off.
I was a journalist for 20 years, and then I started my own food tour. I've always loved food. It's always been a passion for me.
Christy Lenz cooked up her new career when a layoff forced her to change course, leading her into one of Georgia's fastest growing industries, tourism.
There are tons of opportunities for businesses who want to serve tourists who are coming here.
Kevin Langston is the Deputy Commissioner of Tourism at the Georgia Department of Economic Development. Since the Olympics in 1996 put a spotlight on Centennial Park in Atlanta, millions of tourists from all around the globe have flocked here to check out the other hidden gems scattered throughout the state. It's resulted in a huge demand for people interested in entering hospitality careers.
Tourism is a huge industry in Georgia. It's a $65 billion a year industry, employs over 400,000 Georgians, which actually breaks down to about 1 in 10 Georgians is actually employed because of the tourists that come here. We're always seeing a need for workforce in the tourism industry, and it's very easy for people to come in an entry-level position and work their way up.
People like Michael Bono. He's a graduate student working at a nonprofit during the week and is training as a guide on the weekends at Food Tours Atlanta.
On-the-job training is something that's kind of always happening here. As a tour guide, my boss is giving me feedback, but it's also, she's allowing me to help design a new food tour. Like I said, it is a part-time gig, but I actually it's something that supplants my other income.
Since tourism is generating so much revenue, business owners are developing strategies to increase their own economic potential.
Growing my business is one of the most important things to me. I've recently just opened a tour on St. Simons Island, Georgia, and would like to continue open tours around the state. It takes time. It's not something that you're going to get rich overnight, but it is something that as you grow it, you can be very successful doing this.
It's a sentiment experts in the field agree with.
Georgia is a great place for tourists, but it's also a great place for anybody who wants to work in the tourism industry because we are seeing so many tourists. So we encourage folks to come on in and set up shop and take advantage of what we have to offer.
Up next, we're on the set of MacGyver with a woman who's making a living by design.
This is never a job I expected to have or enjoy, and I love it.
I like figuring out how things work, like how computers and systems work together. With the skills I've learned, I can get a job in manufacturing industries from automotive to pharmaceutical. My industrial maintenance classes were free, and my credits may transfer if I decide to get my bachelor's degree in mechanical or electrical engineering.
The Technical College System of Georgia, creating a better future for you and for Georgia.
Business in Georgia has never been better, and companies throughout the state need skilled workers like you to take their business to the next level. Whether you're just entering the workforce or have reached a turning point in your career, WorkSource Georgia can help place you on a fast track toward success. You have the talent. Let us connect you with the opportunity. We are WorkSource Georgia.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jennifer Lawrence, Andrew Lincoln, Kristen Bell, Donald Glover. These Hollywood celebs have all starred in recent movies or TV shows shot right here in Georgia. With so much production taking place in our own backyard, there's tons of opportunities for Georgians seeking steady careers in the biz without leaving the South.
My name's Angus MacGyver. I have 12 first-place science fair trophies.
No one in the history of Hollywood is better at using random items to get out of trouble than MacGyver.
We have all of the little character boxes up here. Anything that they continuously hold on to. Phones, Swiss Army knives.
The new MacGyver is being shot right here in Georgia. The TV series starring Lucas Till is returning for season 2, and so is the show's props coordinator. Meet Whitney Ellison. She makes sure the show has every MacGyver gadget you could imagine.
I keep record of every purchase order, every check request, every rental sheet, every credit card statement, every receipt. This is never a job I expected to have or enjoy, and I love it.
Whitney got her big break thanks to the Georgia Film Academy. The program has already established a strong track record of paving a path to Georgia's booming film industry. When they graduate, students are ready for jobs like camera operator, on-set production assistant, set dressers, and makeup artists. With the help of Academy graduates like Whitney, Georgia was home to more of the top 100 grossing films of 2016 than any other location.
This is the East Coast Hollywood. It was created because more jobs in the film industry were needed here. So we already knew there's plenty of work to be had. You just got to prove yourself and go get it.
Whitney is one of 92,000 people in the state with jobs connected to movies and TV shows like Hidden Figures.
What do you ladies do for NASA?
Calculate launch and landing center.
Stranger Things. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's my underwear.
The industry is responsible for nearly $4.6 billion in wages. And Lee Thomas, the head of the Georgia Film Office, says productions all over the state are keeping the crews busy.
The people that are working in the film industry here, they go from one job to the next. They're working all the time. With the Film Academy, we know we're going to be creating a new generation of people that will be working on films, and it's just a great opportunity for people that want to get involved.
This is one of my favorite props.
Whitney also digs into the details of MacGyver's death-defying adventures.
So there was a massive crate with hieroglyphics on it. So our first thought was, where are we going to find this thing? Thinking immediately of Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant. That's kind of what we were told to start looking for.
The film industry has been called the Dream Factory, and if you watch enough MacGyver, you'll see Whitney's dreams come true.
Got to do some sketches for a couple of episodes and see my work go from being in front of me to actually being on television. So exciting. I grew up watching cartoons with my dad when I was a kid. I wanted to draw cartoons, and throughout high school and undergrad, that's what I wanted to do.
Whitney already has her eyes on the job she wants next.
Marvel is going to be here for a couple of years. I'm a comic book kid, so that to me is just eye candy. And I think if I had the opportunity, my boss knows, have fun, go play for a little bit.
And she's right on track. Whitney has joined the union. She's earning more and now has health care benefits too.
It is the most comfortable I've been. As a young professional or working at all throughout my life. Georgia Film Academy gave me a base knowledge of what I needed to learn, and it gave me the connections I needed to start building bridges and start talking to people inside the industry. Gave me a foot in the door.
Okay. If you want to skip that West Coast scene and get your film production career started in the South, go to GreatGeorgiaJobs.com to get connected so you too can make it big in the film industry. There's so much information and inspiration you can take away from today's success stories. Ian's journey may encourage you to consider a second act in the construction industry, or perhaps being in the epicenter of Transaction Alley inspires a career in finance technology. Maybe the aerospace industry will help your career aspirations take flight. Or if watching Whitney motivates you to create your own movie magic, WorkSource Georgia will help you identify your talent, polish your skills, and get you connected to lucrative job opportunities. Just go to GreatGeorgiaJobs.com. There you'll find WorkSource Georgia information, resources, and links to all the stories you watched here today. Thanks so much for joining me today. As we finish up, there was one question we asked everyone we sat down with. That question, when you were 10 years old, what did you want to be when you grew up? Here's what they said.
Pilot. Once I got in the plane, I knew that was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
I wanted to be a lawyer. That's what I think everybody wants to be, that at some point, because you always hear growing up that that's where the money is.
I wanted to be a ballerina, and I can barely walk without falling over. Quickly, that dream was dashed.